All right, everybody. I hope everybody is having a good morning, a good day, a good week. Just a good life, I guess, at this point. What I wanted to do was probably a trifold card, and I got this paper. This paper, let's just measure it. It's 8 1/4 by 11 3/4. This, it says, is 9 by 12. Let's measure the paper. I don't want to use this one if I don't have to. It's watercolor and, okay, so it is 9 by 12 for sure. So we know that's right. So what I want to do is a trifold card and to figure out my own, what's the word I'm trying to think of? My own way of doing this. So I want to do a trifold. I want to figure out my own numbers and work it out myself. Just in that, if I had a 12 by 12, I could say 4 in the middle and 4 on each side, but that's not necessarily true, because if you do that, and I guess I can pull out that 12-inch sheet, and I'll show you why. Let me just grab that sheet of paper that I already pulled out. So if I take my paper, and I'm going to use this right here because it has the scoring thing on it. So if I score it, I measured it, and it is 12. So if I score at 4, and maybe I'll prove myself wrong here. And if I do, then that just makes it all the more easier. So there's 4, and then if I take here, so now I would go to 8, right? And that would give me 4 on each one. And I don't, that was not straight, so let me do that. Oop, that's the cutting blade, don't want to cut. Then that would say that this would be 4. So if I fold it, I want to make sure I'm on the right line. That doesn't reach over. And, well, it sort of did work, I guess. But look what we have here on the end. Now I could trim that, and that would be nice and easy. And so what I'm thinking, if I wanted to do it this way, see how there's a bow in it? That's what we need to get away from. But we need it to be 4 if we're going to get it in that. In that correct. The middle needs to be 4. So I'm going to say this needs to be 4, the next one needs to be 4, and the other one is going to have to be shorter. The problem with that is I don't want that bow, but let's see how that happens. Let's see how that works. If we do 4, with this one, and then I go to 8. Then maybe this will work. Okay. I'm going to flip it this way because I know this piece is going to be shorter already because the paper is not 12 by 12. So if I fold that on itself, this is going to be easier than I thought, I think. There we go. So we have that little bit shorter piece. But see that bow there? That's because we have to account for the score line. We have to account for that. So my thought is this: to get rid of that bow, I'm going to instead do my first score. So here's the 4, and instead I'm going to go to this line. Just the next, pull this down, the next line under, and that should be like 16th. And that should allow me that room for the score. Now I'm going to take the score line and I'm going to line that up on the 4-inch mark. And that's where I'm going to score the middle, because the middle I do want to be the 4, the whole accurate 4. And then I have what's left here is what's left, right? So now this would be my second one in, and it's going to just come to that score line. That's what I want. And then this is going to be the short, because I know I'm going to have one short, and I want that in the front. I don't want it to be this back one. I want that shorter in the front. So let me get my bone folder. So now I need to cut it at 6 inches, which I'm going to try to do this way because this cutter doesn't go 12. So I know I would have to cut part of it off anyways. So I'm going to see if this trimmer will do it there. At the 6. It's this trimmer. A lot of trimmers you're not going to have this problem. You'll be able to cut it at the 6. But with this one, I'm not getting there. Let's see how we did. So it's right on that line. Cut all but that little bit. So can I see it's not going to go in? I can do fold this part. There we go. Fold this part. There we go. Now I can cut it on here. Like I said, most trimmers, if you've got the 12-inch trimmer, you're not going to have this problem. You're just going to come in and cut it at 6. So, but because I have this, now I got to cut it. There we go. Now I have a 4x6 trifold card. And so you just have to make the allowance for your score line. And that 1/16 of an inch did it. And you can see there's no more bow. Right? I mean, it's going to kind of, you have this, but there's no, when it's put together, it lays flat. That's what I wanted. So just that little bit off makes a big difference and gets rid of that bow in there. See? Because it's not 12 by 12, it's not going to go the whole way. Anyways, let me make my score lines firm. Now we have to figure out how we want to decorate it. And I haven't really thought about that. I was more concerned with how to get that fold. But sometimes we just want to do something a little bit different. And that's what my thought was. So I'm going to pull in these papers. Let me grab them. I have solids, and these are solids. And I have patterns. And I'm just gonna look for what do I want to do on this card. And, oh, that's pretty. It's funny how this one is pretty too, and I've got 2 of those. So that'll cover. I've got 2 of these. So that will cover. Just for this trifold, I know I need 2 sheets of whatever I pick. But I want something that's going to make a nice background for whatever I put on there. Okay. So which one do I go with? Let me set these to the side a little. See if I'd see anything. Christmas. This all came from kits from Crafter's Companion. I pulled them out because I wasn't using them. While they sat in the kits, I wasn't using them, so I pulled them all out, made a big old stack. And now I have all this patterned paper. That's pretty. I don't think there's 2 of those. There is 2 of those. That stripe. So, which one do I want to use? I'm kind of think I already got my favorite, but I don't know why. I don't know why it's my favorite, and I don't know what is drawing me to it. Is that going to stay? No, it's going to fall. But for some reason, I'm really liking this one. Maybe because the colors seem more neutral, and I feel like I could put a lot of different colors on it. Oh. I'm going to lose my card blank in here, too. Don't want to do that. Okay. So, I'm going to measure this small one. It came out to 3 3/4. So 3 3/4. Just so if you want to copy it. And 4. In the first one, of course you saw, looking here it looks like it's 4, but remember, I did it a little bit short. I did it just that 1/16 of an inch to account for that score line. Okay, now I know that what I want to do is make sure that this panel here matches this panel. I just do want it to match. It doesn't have to, but for some reason, that's what I want. I want them to match up. And it could just be a stripe, or I could do this whole blank in that. But I'm feeling like no. No, those don't go together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, what did I say this was? 3 3/4. So I'm going to cut it at 3 3/4, and I'm going to be just a little bit under that. and by 6. And I'm going to go just a little bit under that. Okay. Now I'm looking at it. So I would put this the whole way to this edge and be a little bit short on this edge. And to make this strip match up, I'm going to want this to be just that little bit shorter. And I'm just going to do this a narrow strip. I'm going to do an inch. Not doing it straight though. 1 inch. And I'm going to do just the same here because I'm going to want them to match up. So when I put these on, this will come all the way here and the edge will be there. It's a very tiny little edge. And then this one, I'm going to want it to be a continuation of that one. And I'll put the little bit of edge there, but not on this side. If that makes any sense. So it would be like this. And yours don't have to match up if you want it different. It can be different. Or you could do the whole thing in that. I think if I did the whole thing on this side and that, it would be too much with this pattern. So let me go ahead and glue these down. What I'm going to do is probably use this tape instead of fighting the glue. Normally you don't have to fight glue. I have to fight glue because I come in to do a video and forget that I need to fix my glues. And I get up after I'm done doing a card and don't think about it, doing the glue. So anyways, that's why I fight glue. Well, yeah. You don't have to fight glue, just know that that's a Lori thing, I guess. I need to remember to fix my glue. But I always come in here if I have an idea what I want to do, and then I just get started on it. And then I realize, oh man, I didn't fix my glue. Now the reason I peeled those off already, I am going to put tape down here. But I don't want to have to peel on top of, you know, I don't want tape on top of tape that hasn't been peeled yet. So I went ahead and peeled those off. I'm so tired of the wind, and it's windy here again today. But it is what it is. I've got my little plants and stuff, and I'm wanting to work on them a little bit. Like my tomatoes are growing really good. But I feel like I need to put more dirt around them. But with all this wind, The thing with this tape is when it's down, it's not moving, it's staying where it is. Okay, this I should be able to just do two straight, one right next to each other. I think too we need to do a gatefold. I haven't done a gatefold in ages. I haven't done a trifold in ages. And sometimes we get so caught up in our die cutting and stuff that we forget about the fact that there's other folds that can up our game a little bit. So I want this one right up against. I'm going to give it just that little bit. See that little bit of edge? I'm going to do that on this side. So just that little tiniest bit. And I want it lined up. Hopefully this is going to work. Oh, wait. No. Please, Lori, don't. There we go. I did it. I got it up. I almost didn't give that a little bit of edge. But you do want them lined up enough to match, so. Does that work? I think. Uh-oh. See? And I went off. It's not straight now. Oh. I tried to fix it and I made it worse. Yep. I tried to fix it and I made it worse. Anyways, you get my idea. Would be easier with wet glue. You'd be able to move it better. Let's see how here it went off. It's not the same. Doesn't match up. But we will move on from here. So now I have this one. You can decorate this side if you want. I'm going to leave that blank for now anyways. And now I need to see, what do I want here? And I kind of like that greenish. But this might actually go very nicely with that, right? I like that actually. Not too matchy-matchy, but it goes still. This is that Anna Griffin flower paper. So I can overlay it. You know, it can be, it can overlap. But I don't want it to overlap too much. I would really like to put it up there, but it's not straight. So I am going to have to overlap it some. So now I'm going to see what my measurement is. Just under 3 inches. So I'm going to cut it. And that's not quite 6 inches, so I need to cut it the long way. I need to cut it right about 3 inches by 6, of course. Or a little bit less because you're going to want it to all match up. So I'm going to do 3 and like a 16th here. And I got my 6, and I think I just went 1 under. Oops, that would have been bad. That would have been 5, not 6. Okay. And I can pull it out or leave it however I to be like this, right? I'm going to do the top and bottom first. Tape too big, that's all right. I just fold it over. If your tape goes to come off when you take your paper off, you just need to burnish it better. Burnishing, I just mean rub it on. So that the tape actually holds down. But see, that's not working. I think because I got this tag so big here. Tab, whatever. So there it is. It's burnished better. Now I can just fold this tape in. Okay. There it is. Like, where's my end? Sometimes it's just easier for me to cut it before I put it on the paper. Does anybody else find that true? I watch them all the time do it. Where they put it on and then break it, but I don't know, it just seems to me like it's easier to do it this way. I'm gonna be a little short. And there we go. So I want to do this straight. I want to line it up top and bottom and straighten that out. There we go. So there we go. And then they open it and there they have that. Now, and then the inside is good for a sentiment. Okay. Now we need to figure out what we're gonna put on here. Let me grab my embellishment box. Okay. How about a couple of friends shopping together? Or maybe they're going somewhere fancy. Who knows? Does that work? Is that too much? But both of them. I'm not liking her on this too much. I do like her on here. She looks good on there. Just that she matches up nicely. The paper for some reason. Maybe it's the green in the outfit. I don't know. I'm thinking she could use a little outline. And I'm wondering if I should stick her on there and give her that little bit of an outline. I'm not sure. Do I want to do that and fussy cut it or not? Am I going to mess it up? Oh, I know what I can do. Okay. This is what I'm going to do. That's going to take it maybe in a whole different direction, but Let's see, how much can I take off? Just a little bit, not too much. Let me just take a little bit off of it. Let me make sure I've got it straight. I don't think that's straight there. That looks, no, yeah. There we go. And I'm gonna do just under the 6. Line those up. And put her on. I'm not making this card for anything other than just to show my take on doing a trifold card. Now we could do that. No, I like it just plain. Okay. You would want tape all the way around. I don't know how long my video is getting. Looks like the sun is finally up this morning. I was up early trying to get stuff done. Feels like I got so much to do before I leave, and it really isn't that way, but it feels like it right now. There we go. And then that ties that in. I made this from that Chic Crafter's Companion. Chic. Oh. Yeah, I got the tape on my finger. So for the foot, I'm just going to put it on and whatever overhangs. I can fold over. And it doesn't look like there's really going to be that much. It looks like it from here, but see, the shoe goes. So there's just really 2 little pieces that are hanging over. She's kind of faceless. Yeah. Now, what I might do is try to find something shopping. Maybe this is where I could put the other one. See, if you're doing it, you would know what you're doing it for, right? You would be doing it for a specific person. How about a big thanks? In here for being a friend. Can't believe that was in there to tie it all together, right? The dots. Let's try. Oh, there's 2 sheets here. Let's try the dots. I don't feel any dots. They should be on here, but I don't feel any. I see something. Let's see. No dots. There are some on there, but they seem to have lost their sticky. They're sticking to my fingers, but they're not sticking to that. This one looks good. It looks full. So the clear side is where it should be sticking, I would think. Let's tape her down. Of course, she's got more. To her. Just a little bit of piece on her shoes. And I'm just going to take these little pieces that are sticking out and fold them over. Thanks for being a friend, and then you put your sentiment in there. Now, if I wanted to cover these, then you would have to decide what you're going to cover these with. That would be up to you. But you could do a whole story kind of with a trifold card, because with a trifold card, you actually get 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 pages if you wanted to use them. So there would be the card, right? Some people like this middle one to be shorter also, so that when they do this, you know, that works too. And we can do that. But for now, oops, this is not wanting to stay. I'm messing with it too much before I gave it time to sit and glue. All right, everybody. So there we have it. A trifold card. There we go. I hope I didn't have it out of screen too much. All right, everybody. If you like my video, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you join me again. Bye-bye now.